So first of all, the Talmud says that today, Tisha B'av, is the birthday of Mashiach. So Mashiach, if you're watching this, happy birthday. Then in the summer of 1991, the Rebbe said something amazing. He said that not only is Tisha B'av not a bad day, it is one of the happiest days in Jewish history. And in a sense, more than any other day, it is the day which is leading us into Mashiach. And he explained that really nothing bad ever happens in the world, and nothing bad ever really happens in our own lives. Whenever something seems to go wrong in our life, when something bad happens in our life, when we get hurt, when we get wounded, when we fall down, when we hit a low, so it only appears bad and looks bad on the surface, but in truth, none of these things are bad things. What's really happening is God is tearing down and destroying an okay part of our life, and he's doing construction and renovation and trying to replace it with something so much better. And every time we hit a low, that is a renovation and the first step to reaching a new high. Every time we have a setback, that is a renovation and that is the first step to taking a step forward. Every time there's friction or something breaks or a relationship breaks in our life, that is renovation and that is the first step to forming and building a deeper bond and a deeper connection. And the thing is though, right when we get hurt, when it's fresh, so all we can feel and all we can focus on and all we see is the immediate hurt, the immediate pain, the sting, the wound. And we don't have the vision to see the vision. We don't have the foresight and clarity to see what's really going on. We're so caught up in, and all we see and all we can focus on is the immediate hurt, the immediate pain, the immediate wound, how this is the worst thing that ever happened, this is terrible, this is horrific. It's only when time passes, a day passes, a week passes, a month passes, a year, a decade, sometimes a lifetime, when we gain distance from the painful event and the pain begins to fade and we get closer to the end product, that us humans can start to appreciate how that thing in our life, which we thought was the worst thing ever, it was the worst thing that ever happened to us, it was horrible, it was horrific, it was so painful, it was so bad for us, suddenly we begin to appreciate and we begin to see and we begin to realize how each of these things in our life, every painful experience in our life, actually was such a good thing, was a blessing in disguise. It was an impetus for so much positive change, for so much growth, which wouldn't have been possible without it. And every painful thing that happened to us in our life was the first step of a journey to reach a new incredible destination, a new high, a new place. And this is the way we're meant to view every bad thing in the world, every bad thing in our life. And just take, for example, if I want to give you $90, but I only have a $100 bill. So I'm going to take $10 away from you and then give you the $100. So in the first moment, you're going to be like, this is terrible. But a moment later, you'll realize how amazing that was. And in truth, nothing bad ever happens. It just looks bad in the first immediate moment on the surface. But as time goes on and we get closer to the end product, then we see the true meaning and true purpose behind everything. And the Rebbe said that the exact same thing is with Tisha B'av and with the Churban bias. Because really the source of all human issues and the source of all human struggle and all human frustration and all human pain is Golus, which is embodied by the Churban on Tisha B'av. And right when the Churban happened, right when the Beis Hamikdash was burnt down and destroyed, so it was such a terrible event, it was so catastrophic, that for decades and for centuries and for over 1,000 years, all Jews could see and all Jews could feel was the sting, was the pain, was the low, was the horrificness of the situation. It's only now, close to 2,000 years later, when we've gained so much distance from that event, and as we're approaching the end product, as we're approaching the finished product, the third Beis Hamikdash, the Mashiach, now we're beginning to see and we're beginning to realize, and for the first time we can appreciate that Tisha B'av is actually not a bad day. Tisha B'av is one of the happiest and greatest days ever. Tisha B'av was God tearing down and destroying an okay situation to reach something so much better. It was God tearing down and destroying the second Beis Hamikdash to build up and reconstruct in its place the third eternal Beis Hamikdash. It was God destroying a decent and okay relationship that we had with him to replace with the amazing, incredible relationship we're going to have when Mashiach comes. It was God destroying the era then to recreate and to make the incredible, amazing, awesome era of Mashiach. So that is the message. Hope you enjoyed. Have a wonderful day. do mitzvahs, stay strong, and happy Tisha B'av.